It's Yalla Home. Yalla Home.
With Anna Schofield.
Big House.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello Allah. Peace and blessings and salute. Usually, yes, Big Hassan and Anna's coffee, but Anna is not feeling good, but we got her back and no worries at all. And it is a weekend show. It's going to be an incredible 3 hours with you guys. I have a very special guest in the building. His name is Ziad Gadou, and he is a spoken word writer, poet, artist, but most importantly, he's an amazing human being. He plays the guitar. He recently started producing. He's just an incredible guy, really. And we're about to talk about all sort of things, really, with him, especially after the inauguration last night, and we all saw that young, incredible, poet. So I'm telling you, poetry and emotions and just incredible vibe. We're definitely talking to him. I'm also going to be having an incredible moment right here on the show. We're actually world premiering a song. And that is amazing, by an artist called Adam Nabil. I love it when that happens. His song drops tomorrow. So we're actually world premiering his track called Thunder right here on the show. I'm telling you, we're going to talk about inauguration a little bit throughout with you guys until 8 p.m. I'm telling you, don't miss it. Watch us on YouTube.
It's Yalla Home. Yalla Home.
With Anna Schofield.
Big House.
It is Yalla Home, ladies and gentlemen, on a beautiful Thursday. And man, oh man, I'm going to introduce to you guys just an incredible guy. He's a spoken word poet, a guitarist, a producer. He is the 2018 Rooftop Grand Slam champion. He's the winner of the 2017 Short and Sweet Poetry Festival. He's a writer. He's a co-producer of Oman's best YouTube project 2018, Cruise Control, which is a song and a project that we play on Yalla Home right here, and an author of debut poetry collection, Provoke. But for me personally, he's a human being that impacted me, Anna shakhsiyan, and just an incredible guy. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for the one, the only, Ziad Gadou. What's up, man? Salam, bro.
How are you doing, man? It's great to finally see you, man.
Habibi, my brother.
Absolute pleasure to be here.
It's been a long time, and let's start like that. I met you. I moved here 4 years ago. It was around that time that I met you. It was one of the activations in the UAE, and man, oh man, you guys, brothers and sisters, I walked in a store, and all I can see was this incredible guy with amazing hair. Let me just say that. And he had this amazing smile, but he was spitting truth. When I say spitting, for those of you guys who not maybe into that, he was just saying some incredible things. And I loved it, and I became a fan on the spot instantly. I was like, who that kid?
And I was a fan. That's the thing. I was a Big House fan before you even got to meet me.
Who's that? And mashallah, I think Al-Fafia. God bless you, my brother.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
I think the first question I'm going to ask you, I'm going to pull up, how you doing?
Alhamdulillah, as good as can be.
Okay.
I think, it's been a rough run for everybody. But I think we're all pulling through. I think we're all starting to understand that we have a mission to survive this.
Fact.
Mentally, physically, financially, etc.
Emotionally, you're
absolutely,
right.
Absolutely. And I think everybody's starting to understand that we need to work, not just be on the receiving end of the circumstance, but try to change it.
I'm telling you guys, this is going to be one of the best episodes you'll ever hear on any radio stations, because this guy is just getting started. And he's going to be, of course, saying a few poems from us. طيب, poetry. Now, we all saw the world stage yesterday with this incredible poet. We're going to talk about her, of course.
Yeah,
amazing. But I want to talk to you about you as Ziad. How is your love with poetry start? Like, in what age? What was it? Was it a certain poem? Was it a certain incident that happened?
So poetry was never a part of the conversation to begin with. I was always fascinated with words. I've been reading and writing since I was 7 or 6 years old. I've always been fascinated with English vocab, synonyms, just all sorts of tools. Synonyms. It's a cool word.
Yeah.
So when I think I turned, was it 19 or 20, my friend took me to this event called Rooftop Rhythms in Abu Dhabi.
Shout out to them, bro.
Man. That's the home for me. That's home for me. That's always been home for me.
Fact.
And that's always been the bar. Like, I walked in and I saw people perform poetry in a non-standard way, non-academic. It's not like A-B kind of nursery rhyme. It's engaging, it's interactive.
You give me goosebumps as we talk
personal,
about it.
It's emotional. It's between rap and, just a cappella performances. It's a sweet spot that I didn't imagine.
Who was performing in your first time?
First time, so Paul Dorian, the host,
Of course.
performed. Farah Shamma was performing
Farah
on that
Shamma,
first time.
wow, okay.
I believe there was an
Jay there?
American. Jay was in the building, I'm pretty sure, but I got to know Jay much later on.
Okay.
But Jay's Zain and Salim Al-Attas are one of the.
Salim, yeah.
These two
Shout out
like
to them.
really like inspired my voice. And particularly Jay in the way he takes the stage. And I remember telling him, like, I love the way you step on stage and walk until the mic. And I kept that posture in my head the whole time.
Wow.
He commands the stage. And I always tell him this. And then soon after, like, it started becoming a fascination. Every time I
Did
had
you perform that night? No.
No.
Okay.
It took me a year and a half.
Okay.
To summon
so that
the
was,
courage.
you'd say that was the spark?
That was just like, they can do that? You know what I mean? Really? We can actually say things and have an audience and be celebrated as creatives like that? Okay.
Subhanallah, wow.
And then cooked for a year, almost a year and a half.
Okay, لحظة. The cooking, كيف يعني, how, like, like, okay, you were inspired by this.
Right.
Incredible Rooftop Rhythms, which is iconic, by the way.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to hear, people like you right now say that, because when you say poetry in the UAE, you gotta say your name right now.
Yes, sir.
And with all due respect to everybody, of course.
I appreciate it.
So okay, that year and a half, what?
So that year and a half, I was starting to get into the arts from a performance perspective. I was starting to join the theater program in university. I was working backstage, I was working on stage, I acted for the first time, etc. And then things just started happening, started connecting. I met my closest friend at the time. He was like, let's go to an open mic. Hey, do you want to perform? What? You mean get on stage? So that
amazing.
whole time I was just summoning the courage, meeting the right people, finding the important things to say, organizing my thought. It went from writing imagery and just nice looking words to message, to purpose. I want to talk about social anxiety. I want to talk about love, this particular relationship. I want to talk about my relationship with whatever it is that I feel, with music, with art, with my friend, with my mother, whatever it is.
Mashallah.
And then I started it's all that energy started narrowing down into one thing. And I started watching a lot of button poetry online. Sarah K, Phil K, what have you.
Oh, wow.
All these people. And then, all sorts of things just started falling in place. And then I went to my first open mic.
Okay, how was that?
So, the first piece I ever performed was about social anxiety.
The first piece you ever performed
was about social anxiety. I was shaking and stuttering so much that the audience thought that it was part of the performance.
Yeah, satir.
It wasn't. I really was terrified. So, and then the audience after the performance was like, wow, those stutters felt so real.
Ya Allah.
And I was like, yeah.
Thank you.
They kind of were, I kept it to myself,
Yeah.
But then I got so much love that night. I got so much, enthusiasm. I got so much energy that night. I made a lot of friends. These became my friends. Reem Ike was one of the first people I met in that platform.
That's amazing.
Anis, Mohammed Anis.
What was the platform you did it?
So Rooftop.
Rooftop
Rhythms,
performed
yes, sir.
Rooftop
15th of
Rhythms.
September 2015.
15th of September 2015.
Yes.
Do you remember the
I remember everything. It was the Fairmont Hotel in Abu Dhabi. I'll never forget.
Do you remember the poem?
It was about breathing. It was like, I don't remember the poem very well at the time, but it was just about counting down to 10 to calm yourself down. That's the essence of the piece.
And when people clapped afterwards, because it's such a good community, people would show you love.
Absolutely.
How was your feeling? Was that anxiety kind of?
I was anxious for 2 days. I remember the host of the event kept telling me, you're not going to leave until you perform, or else, I'm going to hurt you.
Oh, man. Yeah,
So, you know what I mean?
He'd say that, Paul. Yeah.
He's so supportive. He's one of my mentors. He's been such a rock to me, creatively and as a writer and as a person. I always look up to him, 100%.
Wow. Is this the first segment like that? You're coming off strong like that, man.
Yeah,
Well,
let's just,
mashallah.
we'll see about the rest.
Yeah, man. No, mashallah. Listen, can you do something quick for us right now before the?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I love how real you are, raw, and it's just the word I'm looking for. See, I'm not really good with words. I'm really bad.
You're so nice.
I'm good with talking, but words, it's the impact that you make in such a, and you don't come off as a. It's not complicated, and it just enters the heart ala tool. This is what I love about Ziad. And
I appreciate
you have
it,
a
man.
very unique way, by the way, about you. But yeah, I want to talk more, but I want to see what can you do for us right now.
I'm going to do a piece called Ana. It's an Arabic-English piece
nice.
that I always introduce myself with.
Okay,
so
okay.
I think for the starters, maybe we'll start with that.
That's amazing. It's Anna. When did you write this?
This was 2016. I did it in NYU, Abu Dhabi,
Nice.
for a performance that evening, and it was the first time I did it. And even the English-speaking audience members were, they enjoyed the Arabic part, and the Arabic-speaking audience enjoyed the English part. So I always
Wow.
like to introduce myself with it.
Man, it's incredible. We're about to hear this right now, ladies and gentlemen. Ziad Gadou. Go follow him. He is on our Instagram. Ziad, the air is yours. Go ahead.
أنا لست ما تعتاده الأقلام. أنا وأعوذ بالله من كلمة أنا ما دمت وما بقي وما زال على عهد الهوى. I am not what a pen can endure. I'm not what your parameters can secure. Not the simple definitions of the complex brochures. I am storm, stirred within a breeze. Gentle as the ocean debris. أنا قلب خفاق في دنيا الأسوار. كلب صارخ يوقظ النائم من غفوة الأشعار. I am 5 a.m. stalling for breath and not counting backwards from 10. I am the streets of Cairo, noisy and doubtful. More than just a mouthful of prison cells on obituaries, cold in a handful of hands containing hope in sanctuaries, old but proud and ironic. And I am outrageous and hyperbolic, ready to verbally outstake you, mistake you for lobotomy. I am the night in its silence. I am the wandering mongrel of the city, screaming unfiltered monstrosity, advertising the struggle of the unheard to the unburdened herd, dispersed in gluttony. I am rising prices and falling dice and scalps of lies and tired of fighting in snow and ice with. I am kushari and spice and everything nice. And I don't mean to say the same thing twice, but I am. أنا لست ما تقوله الصحف. أنا أبيض من المستعمر وأنقى من الدنس. Long after the fall of your dynasty, after the crashed corals of imperial pedigree, I'm the serial killer with pen and greed. I'm the blast outcast outlasting the hurricane. I'm the last king of Scotland, more blunt than Mary Jane, more do than die, more hello than goodbye, more try than outcry, but I am not a magician. Because I cannot seem to unhinge the definition of resistance from this body. This cave of compassion is too desperate for seclusion, yet too hungry for inclusion, and I just want to conclude this with a smile. And I don't mean to intrude, but tell me more about you. Are you lost like me? If so, let's hold hands and let the electricity between our fingers spell hope to a misled generation of candles. Let's talk to one another, learn each other's darkness, for maybe in darkness we will harness understanding. And eventually, we may see through each other's ears. Let me hear you speak your mother tongue in pride. Let me see you cross these hurdles, these burdens. Let me get to know you, because I am. أنا سعدت بلقائك وتشرفت ببقائك ولو لبضع دقائق. Thank you, man.
Wow. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see me. I'm tearing right now. Like, this was...
Means the world, man. Means the world.
Yo, Ziad, I need a break. Okay. Ziad Gadou, this was Allah Yahmeek, man. This is just the beginning, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any questions for Ziad, please, 4215, SMS us right now. Again, the number is 4215. SMS the number, and we will definitely ask it to Ziad. We're going to be right back.
It's Yalla Home. Yalla Home.
With Anna Schofield.
And Big Hass.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with Yalla Home. Usually it's Big Hass and Anna Schofield, but it's all good. I got with me a special guest, Ziad Gadou, who is, man, I'm telling you, I'm feeling so much emotions right now. And usually I am a very passionate guy. I'm a very emotional guy, and I'm proud of that. And he is one of those guys that definitely makes me feel that it's okay to be emotional. Look at you. Do you mind? Do you mind to say how old are you right now?
I'm 26.
You're 26, mashallah. Okay. So 26 years old, and you know your impact already. Yani mashallah alayk, bro. Do you feel when you do like pieces like this, what's the rush that comes to you afterwards? Like, what do you feel? Take us through as a poet.
So, kind of like the story I told you about the first time I performed. It's never failed me since. I've always been able to extract. Feels like I allow people to feel things. They're kind of waiting for someone to tell them, how are you doing?
Yeah.
And then they just start feeling all these things that they're feeling.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel as a listener of poetry, first and foremost, but then also as a performer. I get to have these conversations, you know. But yeah, I think every time I'm done performing, I feel like I just had the longest and most profound conversation with the audience.
And I love that. I love that you said that. Okay, yesterday on the biggest stage in the world, maybe, the inauguration of the new president of the United States.
Yep.
Big deal, right? I think it's, Amanda Gorman.
Yeah.
she did, obviously she did a piece. And I just want to hear a little bit of it right now with you, Ziad, if you don't mind.
Of course.
Dawn is hours before we knew it. Somehow we do it. Somehow we've weathered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken, but simply unfinished. We, the successors of a country and a time where a skinny black girl descended from slaves and raised by a single mother can dream of becoming president, only to find herself reciting for one.
Oh my God. The snaps out of this. Okay. I want to know your reaction when you saw this. And because the world, obviously her Instagram kind of blew up. She had, I think, 10,000 followers. She just crossed 3 million.
She deserves it. She absolutely. She absolutely.
So I want to know from you, when you see spoken word on that stage like that, how does that make you feel?
So it wasn't, to be honest, I wasn't surprised because I've always believed that poets need to be on the top of the top of the top of the top of the expression platform. Some of the best poets historically, some of the best people historically were poets in their own right.
Yeah.
Like I think Bob Marley is a poet.
Yeah.
I think Jill Scott Heron is a poet. I think
Facts.
a lot of incredible historical figures were inspired by poetry or were changed history with poetry. Like Sayyid Darwish, an Egyptian legend, used to compose the songs written by Badi' Khairi, who was an Arabic teacher who used to write monologues. Like the real power comes when the writers are put in the right place, I believe. So this didn't come as a surprise, but it just affirmed what I already knew. Poets are very crucial. Simple as that.
Facts. Do you think that's something that in the Arab region as much, because it was such a nice move, Sarah, inauguration, the biggest stage in the world, everyone is watching.
I mean, poets flexed hard last night. That's all I can say. We all felt good about ourselves last night. You know what I mean? So that being said, I think if every poet in their bones should know that they are speakers for their communities, they're speakers for their families, they're speakers for their heritage and their history. They have an obligation to stand up and say things, and even if it's just for themselves, they own up to all of these things they come from. I think so. So they just have to believe they are,
Yeah. Okay, so when it comes to Marshall, you play the guitar. I want to know, like, when did you start? Like, why is that? And you started getting into production as well. So now, like, you're diversifying as well.
Yeah.
So tell me about the guitar situation first.
So the same way, kind of being a part of theater encouraged me to, to perform on stage. The guitar kind of got me into everything. So I was 12 years old and. I think I did very well on some exam or something, and then I just told my dad, I have some money saved up, yalla, let's go get a guitar. So he got me a guitar, and I was obsessed with guitarists, and I think I used to spend 10 hours a day playing or practicing. I used to skip the breaks where everybody would go down to their break. I would sit in the class and practice my scales or my chords. And then
when was that?
This was 7th or 8th grade, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when you get into music, the same way you get into any kind of genre, you start obsessing over the greats.
Yeah.
I immediately started getting into Guns N' Roses and Metallica and all that, and I idolized Slash and I idolized Metallica and all that, and then I just chased that energy.
Wow.
I went to all the concerts.
You did poetry with guitar before?
No.
Does that work?
I feel like I would do it, but I feel like I've been trying to hone the crafts separately first.
Okay.
And I think the right piece will find the right, music.
We got a couple comments right here. I'm sure you know this person, Rania.
Yes, I do.
Okay, Rania. Shout out to Rania. She's saying, Ziad, no questions, because you just, read. I think what you read gave us all the answer. Bless you, Habibi, Rania.
Thank you, Rania. Thank
God
you.
bless. And also another question from Sashi. What scares you? Like, that's a really, out there. I'm like,
What scares me?
Yeah. Like, maybe what's a fear that you have?
I think
Straight into it, Sashi.
A legitimate fear, I think, is not impacting on the reach that I want to.
Define that. What do you mean?
So when I say, for example, what if Kendrick Lamar was never famous?
Was never famous? Oh, wow. Okay.
That's terrifying.
But his work made him famous, right?
What if that never resonated? But it's important. That's terrifying. For me, that's terrifying.
Okay, I love that.
So
you
I
think about that?
All the time. All the time. I think that I need to work 10 times as hard as I do now to impact as many people as I can. At the very least, the people that ascribe to the culture of emotions and.
I'm trying to be a devil's advocate here.
Please.
I got you.
Please.
What if the people don't want to be impacted? Like your people in a region where it's very saturated with a lot of maybe bad news, political situations.
Yeah, absolutely.
They don't want to be impacted. نحن نبغى نهز ونبغى البسط ونبغى and you coming in, you know, what do you say about
Good
that?
point. I think so two things. I think one, that artists are able to measure, to play both. You can be commercial and you can be conscious. I think, again, go back to Kendrick Lamar. But also, you can be long-term impacting. So Van Gogh's best work wasn't celebrated until after
Facts.
way past the time. Mahmoud Darwish is still as relevant today as he was when he first wrote his first piece. I think that work finds the time it needs to be relevant.
Wow.
Simple as that.
You're spitting
what I
truth.
mean? I come from a country where it's 7,000, years of history, and the pyramids are still considered wonders. So, like, the work lives on. The work lives on when and if it is needed. Simple as that. It will find an audience. It will find an eyes and ears to listen to.
I mean, look, I could write a thesis about what you just said right now, because I think the work is definitely needed. I do think that our people, sadly, they're, sometimes they kind of
they're going through it.
Yeah, it's wow. Ladies and gentlemen, we are with Ziad Gadou. We're going to take a short break with an amazing song that I just found out about like 2 days ago. The guy is just incredible. Bro, how do you pronounce this name? You tell me. I'm struggling. This is the spelling of the name, right? Y-A-E-O-W. I'm telling you.
I guess it's just I think it's more like yo, but just a very eloquent way of writing it.
I'm telling you.
It's Yalla Home.
Yalla Home. With Anna Schofield.
And Big House.
It is Pulse 95 Radio, Yalla Home, broadcasting also live on YouTube. I want to shout out all your peeps, man, tuning in. You got Yusuf Gadou. Who's Yusuf Gadou?
That's my little brother.
Okay, get close to the mic.
That's my youngest brother.
Shout out Yusuf Gadou. We got Marwan Gamal.
Marwan Gamal is one of my closest friends.
He's saying, my boy, looking good. I see you, Marwan. We got Rani Al-Kibbe. Thank you so much, Raya. Who's that? Also, Aya Riyad.
Yes, these are all my close friends.
That's amazing,
Everyone's
man.
tuned in.
Yeah, that's incredible. I love that. We got this incredible guy, and he's also a producer and a videographer.
Yes.
El Shawa.
Yes.
Shout out to him,
absolute.
I want to see if we can play some of his beats as well. Yeah, amazing guy. Who else is here? We got a couple of guys right here also tuning in. Big up to Dror Metes and Haida. Man, shout out to everybody. Okay, please keep watching and please spread the link so we can, get to know this guy more. Ziad, you fuse Arabic and English really well. Is that something you've added new? Well, you've always started with that.
It was a new thing that I was trying for fun. Like, I didn't really think that it would do well, but the audience engaged really well with it, and I felt much more relaxed.
Okay.
It felt a lot closer to what I wanted to do. And it felt like home, you know what I mean? It felt like it was closer to, but also it kept the interesting kind of dimension. It's a nice contrast. It's kind of like wearing black on white. It's a cool contrast. Everybody gets to see these back and forth.
What was the best comment you ever received after a performance? I know you get a lot of like, yo, amazing, incredible, you moved me, you gave me goosebumps. But was there one comment that kind of, oh yeah, okay.
I think there was a performance, one of the earliest performances. First time I performed this piece the piece that I'm going to do now.
Okay, nice.
I don't want to ruin the piece, but essentially
let's do the piece.
So yeah, let's do the piece first,
okay,
and then I'll tell you the story.
So he's about to do that. Peace and love to everybody. Saint Mercy is also tuning in.
Yes, very good friend from Egypt. A very talented artist.
Well, what does he do?
He is a rock musician, but he's also a poet. And a producer.
Shout out to him. MashaAllah, you're surrounded by these incredible guys.
Yes,
okay, so without further ado, and let's just explain. Sometimes I see myself snapping. Can you explain to the people what snapping means?
In poetry performances, because the poet isn't accompanied by any music or any loud, just voice generally, snapping is a little lower than clapping.
Yeah.
So it's just a way to show your appreciation without interrupting the thought process.
Okay, cool.
That's about it.
You mind if I snap if I like
Please, absolutely, be my pleasure, man.
All right. Does this piece have a title?
It does not.
Okay, cool.
I don't like to give my pieces titles.
You don't give it.
I don't.
I noticed that.
It's very difficult for me to do that, to be honest. I feel like the whole piece just gives you a certain mood.
I love that. Okay,
Yeah,
Ziad Gadou, take it away, my brother, right here. Pulse 95 Radio, Yalla Home.
I'm sorry I don't impress you. I'm sorry I don't please you. I'm sorry my accent isn't a defendant of my legacies that stood endless nights upright to defend me. I know your teachers misrepresent me. And the belly dancing implements that sometimes we have to shake for necessity. I know I don't impress you and I don't really intend to. I may mispronounce linguistics, but I will outmatch you. I will outmass you, so let me break down the statistics for you. I am an Egyptian, a 7,000-year-old civilization, an infertile Nile with edgy political implications, located on the perfect square, on the perfect black diamond. 1953. An army of caps removed the crowns of our gowns and placed traps on our clouds till it rained flames and sin, subsidizing, fertilizing my skin till it bred garbage bins that smell of my kin. Blood swam so thick on my face your humor would drown helpless in its hollow base. So think again before you go skinny dipping in my veins. 1973. Rusty locks kept the wolves outside our doors till the rust oxidized my apartment till the mold spread like wildfire till the plague spread like the reasons the Holocaust still exists in your discrimination towards me. When I was 14, history failed me when my teacher mispronounced poverty. Poverty. Boverty. Why do you insist on insulting my heritage? Has the Nile not quenched your bloodthirsty Red Sea with knowledge? I taught your grandfathers to articulate. So ask their corpses if I owe you anything. When I was 16, I began to patronize my flag and flew the banners on my shoulders till the birds could reach wavelengths beyond your black gold mines. When I was 17, I drew an eagle on the porch and I let it draw me on the wall. I let it bleed above me and mourn below me till red was down and black was up. When I was 21, I was crowned the sun. So do not mess with the sons of pharaohs unless you can split the ocean in two. And when I split these syllables, don't you dare mock my speech or fake my scars. I will whip you with the knowledge of stars, and I will always lead you in the table of contents in a book about sacrifice. I will enslave your judgment, construct ancient pyramid where I will bury your ignorance with a flick of predicament with a flicker of my finger. So the next time you see me and you decide to tongue twist battle me, don't forget to walk in the other direction like an Egyptian.
Oh my God. Yo, you got claps in the other studio. Double R doesn't move for anything, man. I'm telling you, bro.
I appreciate it, man.
Yo, that's incredible, bro.
Thank you, man.
Man, seriously, wow. You got people in the chat right here loving it. Sabina Mordova saying, look
yes.
fly with that outfit, Ziad. I
you.
see you. Yusuf
Really
Gadou saying, old as gold.
Let's go.
And wow.
Yeah, so to answer your question.
Yeah, now you can answer the question.
Best reaction I got was some Egyptian members of the audience came to me, thank you for that. And the non-Egyptians came to me, we're so sorry. It's so much fun to perform this piece every
this
time.
Is such a good piece.
Yeah, it's so much fun to perform.
Can I even dare to ask you,
Absolutely.
What's the process of writing something like that?
Yeah, of course. So most of anything I write comes from just experience. And growing up as Egyptian, there is, a stereotype.
Yeah.
There are mean kids in every school and every class.
Yeah.
And they just, make fun of the accent or whatever. And
Yeah.
I grew up with that stereotype.
Yeah.
So at some point, I think I slept one night very angry and I woke up and I wrote that, and it just came out of my system. I'm like, what if I start by mimicking the exact stereotype? And everybody will laugh, and they do.
Fact.
Every time I perform it,
And
they start laughing.
Yeah. No, I mean, stand-up comedians do that a lot. And,
Where you flip the script
we
on,
laugh. And with poetry, I think it's the same thing. And it's just...
Yeah, and then every time I perform it, I get... first half of the piece is laughter, the second half is shame. It's just great. Every time. It's so much fun to perform.
Wow.
So I think this piece is one of those pieces where I got very invested in doing things in non-conventional ways. The same, like update. I love the update done by an iOS or by an artificial voice. I love doing things in unconventional ways. Because I've seen a lot of performances, I've been to a lot of open mics, I've watched a lot of art in my lifetime, and you can tell when someone is consuming, when someone is completely starting on a fresh ground.
Fact.
And I just enjoy doing things in different ways.
I love that. We got Al-Shamtan, ahlan wa sahlan. I remember when I first heard the poem in my living room years ago, hearing it on here is incredible. Wow. St. Mercy saying that should have seen him performing in Cairo. He floored the entire crowd.
That evening, and he also performed. That evening was one of my favorites.
You did this in Egypt?
Yes, sir.
Oh my God.
Maybe one of the best reactions I got because this was like everybody
hits home.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Literally.
Yeah.
So everybody there felt that sense of pride, you know?
Yeah, that's amazing. Listen, I'm about to play Cruise Control. Shout out Iman, Jali, and Ghazi, Baluchi.
Everybody on that project is family, man.
Tell me about this project real quick. Because we play it, I figure we play this on the show like every
I
other
love
day.
that. You were one of the first people to play that project when it came out. So I met Iman at a random jam session that she was hosting at her house. Every musician I knew.
In Oman.
Yeah, every musician I knew came to her basement. She has a small studio.
She's incredible.
And she is one of the most talented people I've ever met. And after the jam session, I texted her, hey, do you mind if I come and jam? Just play some chords, just, talk about music. And that's how I usually meet people. It's through these things.
Yeah.
I went over and I started playing this chord progression that I was obsessed with. And it's like a little jazzy, a little bossa nova. And then she just started humming. And I'm like, can we just record that let's just keep that on the side.
You're kidding.
A few days later, something happens to me personally and it inspires this piece. Same way I sleep over it and I play a Kendrick Lamar instrumental and I write for 3 days. And that piece came out the way it is.
Wow.
In like 2-3 days.
Wow.
And I went over to her studio and I'm like, do you mind if I try recording this verse? We're mixing poetry with a very kind of poppy idea, you know? And she's like, yeah, let's try that. And then after I finished the first verse, she's just staring at me. What was that? And I'm like, I don't know. She's like, do you have a chorus? I'm like, we'll see. So we sit down and we come up with a chorus and she's just floors it.
Yeah.
She kills it. And then Ghazi comes into the studio.
Shout out Ghazi Baluchi,
he's
of course. And,
the heart and
a
soul
legend, a pillar.
of the Omani music scene, in my opinion. This guy is such a hard-working musician.
Good dude.
So Ghazi comes into the studio and he's just sitting there like, okay, there's a minute and a half of this that I don't know about. When were you? I'm like, yeah, we've been inviting you for the last week. He shows up. He's like, this is coming out. I'm like, what? I didn't see any of this. I didn't see the vision. I didn't see He's like, just leave this up to me. I believe in this. And everybody in the room just went, yeah. We all believe in this too. And it came out to insane reception.
Yeah.
I think we were playing on the radio for a good 3-4 days straight in Oman.
It's so good.
My DMs were filled. We had like, I think 2,000, 3,000 streams in the first 48 hours.
Yeah.
The music video wasn't even in discussion at that point.
Wow.
And then the director walked into the studio.
Shout out to him because
Hafid al-Harthi is a genius. I am his biggest
love
fan.
the video.
I am such a fan of Hafid al-Harthi and everybody that worked. Noor the actress, Shafour, everybody did insane. Like everyone's so good. And Hafid comes in and I'm like, so I see this. He's like, shh. Come over to my house tomorrow. We have a brainstorming meeting, me, you, and Ghazi. So we go to his house. 8 hours. They come up with an idea. This is on Friday, Thursday.
Okay.
The Thursday afterwards, we have a crew. 15 people assembled. We have a location.
Wow.
We're shooting the next week. 48-hour shoot. We're done.
Passion.
Swear to God, when God lines things up for you, man.
Yeah.
That summer, I believed in a lot of things, man.
Oh, that's amazing.
And my book came in the same summer, and I met the artist that did things. When things happen, they happen.
SubhanAllah, it's amazing.
Nothing can. حدش يقدر يعني رزقك هيوصلك.
صح. I love that you said that.
Genuinely,
no matter what. That's
genuinely.
incredible. Let's give this a listen. Cruise Control. Ziad Gadou featuring Iman Jali and also Ghazi Baluchi, right? Beautiful track. Enjoy and listen. Incredible.
Lose control, take it slow and fly tonight. Your eyes tucked in, mine tossed away from this, and off you go, away you go. Cruise control, lose control, take it slow and fly.
One day his friend was calling him, tells him, I saw her walking then. She was laughing with some other guy. Their lips were tied. I wouldn't lie.
Eyes tucked in, mine tossed away from this, and off you.
One day her friend was calling her. He passed her by, it was all a blur. He was laughing with some other girl. Their lips were tied. She wouldn't lie.
Listen, I'm not sure what you're trying to tell me, but I need to speak with you. You and I have to talk. I'm not sure what you've been up to or where you've been or who you've been with. And
She held her breath and counted back. Drowned the questions, fade to black. Her heart was shaking, her palms were aching. She told herself, get back on track. She tried to drive herself somewhere safe. Her mind was racing a worthless chase. In your mind, was I second place? I should have known not to trust these stakes. Fighting inside, her thoughts were rotting. There were soldiers dying and rockets falling. Maybe he did it, he left me. Maybe she was it and I was the side treat. Her brain was plagued with a train of maybes. A few days back they were naming babies, and how could she phrase this? There was no way to face this.
How do I face this? How do I face this hell? How do I save it? How do I save it all? How do I face this? How do I face this hell? How do I save it? How do I save it all?
Listen to me, I'm screaming with agony. I don't know why you keep dragging me, but I've loved you since you were flagging me and bragging me. We're going insane, thinking another will love us the same. This kind of thing doesn't come around often. Two puzzle pieces caught from the same person. Just pick up, please. I want to know that you're still there. I'm here, and I always will be, till we're 103, and you're still stuck with me. Till you have no teeth, and you can't see. I know you hear me, I'm not done yet. I'll drive till I find you when the sun turns wet, till the earth stops still, till a blind man sees, till my fist implodes, till the night is a painting and my name's Van Gogh, till my ears are cut and the cuts will show that the stars in the sky are a lie, and the stares in your eyes have a line since you called me a liar. You're the only truth I've ever known. I've got a record and a lifetime to show for. I'm sick of these panic attacks, sick of this fear. I'm lost. Where do we go from here?
Tucked in, mind tossed
It's Yalla Home. Yalla Home.
With Anna Schofield.
And Big Hass.
Pulse 95 Radio. Yalla Home, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters tuning in. I want to shout out your community, bro. MashaAllah, you have an amazing community. Big up to them.
Appreciate you, man.
Seriously, they are just incredible. It's so nice to see everybody, just really kind of vibing. Shout out to Sabina, shout out to Yusuf, shout out to Basant Ashimi, saying always tear-inducing performances. Z, so proud of you.
Yeah, she actually cried one time.
I mean, I cried, I'm telling you. So it's Hiba al-Habak, or Habak?
Yes.
Also shout out to her.
Friend, yes.
MashaAllah. You know, and I want to talk to you about that a little bit just before because we are approaching the blessed prayer for Al-Maghrib, and right here on the station, really proud of this. We actually take a break, honoring that. Friends, family, how important are they in Ziad Gadou's life?
They're everything. I reach out to them for any and every concern. I'm not the kind of guy who registers to the philosophy of lone wolf, do it your own way, act. No. I will gladly break down in my mother's arms any day over try to be tough. I will register to that philosophy to the day I'll go meet God again. So I stand by my community, my family, my friends. They are my rock, they are my wall, you know what I mean?
And I love that. We forget sometimes. I mean, obviously artists are also human beings, and I started recently, releasing songs. And when I say that, I was like, how people receive songs and art. You work on a piece for 5-6 months, and then you throw it out to the world 2-3 minutes, and somebody would say, "Oh, hey, this is like not good, or this is trash, or whatever."
Yeah, exactly.
And I think people need to understand that it takes so much hard work and heart and sacrifice, and for some people, anxiety. They have to go through that anxiety to overcome that anxiety to show the world.
The night of a release, easily the most stressful night of any artist's life. The night of a release, the day of a release, and the following 24 hours. These are 3 days that an artist suffers mentally, because they, not every artist is well versed in the idea of just self-loving and self-caring in that sense. So, and it takes a long time to develop that, that thick skin. And so for the longest time, every time you put something out, you're just terrified of acceptance. You're terrified of every comment, every moment.
Fact.
You know what I mean? What if this word does this? What if this word does that? What if they hear or mishear? What if I did this wrong? What if I did that wrong? What if I should have canceled this? And that thing you want to cancel could be the best part of the poem or the best part of the song.
I like that.
And you have to believe. It's kind of you're believing something that doesn't exist. Artists create out of thin air.
صح.
You know what I mean?
Speaking of that, we got 3 minutes before the prayer. Do you think you can do a little bit of update?
Yes,
us?
sir. Yes, sir.
Because I love that, and
Yes,
I
sir.
love Marwan on the moonwalk in the video.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to him.
An absolute brilliant
What a
artist. One
legend.
of my favorites.
He's,
one of my
he-
favorites.
he's a genius, mashallah.
Yeah, and if you're not following Marwan on the Moon, you're missing out.
You are.
صراحة, yeah.
He's incredible. Okay, let's do it. And I hope, I'll let you know. But we have 2 minutes and a
Yes,
half
sir.
just before
Yes,
that.
sir.
Go ahead. This is an incredible piece that you guys could check out. Ziad Gadou update.
Update. Still at home. Still sleeping in double digits. Warming the bed for an imaginary ex. Warning the dead that I might be on the way. Update. Still on Netflix. On the 4th season of Mad Men. Don Draper is sad again. For exercise, I stood up, then sat again. Haven't moved in days like a mannequin. Nightmares so ugly, I look like a post-accident Anakin. Emotionally vacant despite these tendencies for over-panicking. Update. Looking out the window. Wishing for a patch of grass. One more chance. One last dance to any song. Rap house or trance. My thoughts marathoning around like an Armstrong Lance for the 17th straight night. I'm binge eating along to Bat Romance.
Wow.
Update. I watched that Ghibli movie with the little girl on the train as she travels with a ghost who looks clearly in pain. Update. I downloaded 5 different games on my phone. Studied all 26 corners of my home. Counted the diagonal tiles on the bathroom floors. Played chess with myself and broke down on all fours. Still nervous. Still feeling worthless. Still can't believe we're in this unfeasible circus. Last time I was normal, or a normal afternoon, I held my normal hands and pinched my normal brother's normal cheeks for normal laughs. Last time I danced, I was out, it was noisy, and the music drowned the voices. Last time I prayed, I was in, it was quiet, and the prayers drowned the silence. Last time I slept, I regret not knowing that would be the last time I'd forget. Update. New earth. New home. Alone. On different sides of the bed, on different times of the day, revisiting the same 3 poses, slipping in oceans like an almost drowning Moses, my patience and tolerance slowly steeping, my mother's immunity a blind spot I did not see creep in. And suddenly, it's not Saturday or Sunday, it's just someday. Suddenly, I care what prime ministers have to say, waiting for their answers, for their hope, for a due date on this long walk, on this never-ending tightrope. Suddenly, deadlines were insignificant and the television was the most important piece of equipment. Holding my nerves with each new breaking news, my heart rate falling through. Suddenly, it's my family, not me. My father's immunity, my grandmother's blood pressure, her white blood cells staying in formation.
And that's, I don't want to interrupt you, I'm so sorry, but we just because we do this live on the air, and Maghrib prayer is
Absolutely.
here out of respect. We will be right back, and this was just incredible.
Thank you.
And Maghrib prayer, we'll be right back. Pulse 95 Radio.
It's Yalla Home. Yalla Home.
With Anna Schofield.
And Big Hass.
It is Big Haas flying solo, but I have a very special guest. I actually told him you got to stick 10 more minutes because 1 hour is not enough, man. We got the one, the only Ziad Gadou. Thank you so much for your time, my brother, man.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
I hope you're having a good time, man, right here on Yalla Home,
really
Pulse
am.
95 Radio. We're so honored to have you, my brother. For the next 10, 15 minutes, I want to talk to you about lots of stuff. And actually, I'm going to ask you right now, 2020 has been a tough year for all of us. When I say all of us, really, and it depends, each and every one of us face things. Either it was really tough. And, I asked you in the beginning, like, how were you? And it was like, for a lot of people, like, hey, I'm still surviving. I'm still here. It's been tough. So let's talk about how you address mental health in your poetry and how, because since I ever knew you, I think you always talk about that in a way. And I think it's really important from someone like you because you have a way with words and even the way you say these words. So when we say mental health and poetry and Ziad Gadou, where do they all kind of meet? And what are you trying to say? And especially, sorry, when I say that, sorry too.
Yes.
You've recently put out a video, and that video was so. I found myself just kind of writing.
Yes, sir.
And you're actually, telling the people that you're not doing so well, and you need, kind of,
space and understanding.
space, and maybe you need to hear from people, and you're just reaching out.
Yes.
That's the word. And it was such. I was like, I'm blown away.
Yeah.
With the courage, with the with your heart.
I appreciate it.
Go check out the video. It's still there.
It's on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's on Instagram.
So tell me the reaction that you got, obviously after you released that video.
So that I really just so I've been a lot of people battle with depression or all sorts of kind of mental issues, but the last couple of years particularly, it's been harder to avoid. You can distract yourself for long enough until you can't, until it corners you, until you're between four walls, and then at some point I just woke up, put my phone in front of me, and just started talking to myself. No preparation, no thought process. Hey, how are you doing? Let's talk about it. And as soon as I finished kind of recording about a 10-minute video, I realized that I think a lot of people around me in my life are also not doing well due to a lot of things. So I decided to post it. Maybe someone feels a bit, less lonely or less alone in their struggle. And
the feedback you got from
insane.
people.
Insane.
Did it surprise you? Did it like?
So I closed off my Instagram for a couple of days.
Okay.
I didn't touch it. I just took a break. My brother texted me, or I don't remember if it was my brother or some friend. They're like, "Yo, check your Instagram. You don't understand." I checked the comments and the messages. I got about 30 to 40 messages from strangers, from complete strangers, who started sharing their stories. Hey, I battled with this disease. Hey, I lost my grandfather, I lost my father. Hey, I lost my job. Hey, this is this. And 30 to 40 people just started pouring in with stories. And I sat there like, did we all need to talk? Like, it felt like it's just everybody needs a hug right now. And that's exactly what that was. And I also felt like I acknowledged myself. Earlier, you were telling me about how we need to tap ourselves in the back. Yeah. That's exactly what that was. And because we're artists and because I part of me is out there. Part of me is in the works that I've posted, in the things that I've written. Yeah. It felt like my artist self was acknowledging my human self. Wow. Something along these lines. Like, Ziad, take a break. Don't worry about anything else. And that's exactly what I felt. I felt complete peace.
Do you think you releasing the video helped you?
100%.
Wow.
Because I was,
and that's a big confirmation that if you're feeling those feelings, reach out.
You have to. Not everybody, and not you have to go through it. Sadly, you kind of have to go through these phases where you kind of do it alone, then do it with one person, and then do it, and then eventually you're gonna sit there and you're gonna be like, I need to go home. Like, I'm not doing okay. And then that's the moment where you are starting to heal and starting to pick yourself up.
Can I ask you a question? And I want you to be really honest with me right here, especially in the Arab region. This is something not a lot of people like to talk about. Yeah. There's many things that we don't like to talk about. This is one of them.
Yes, sir.
And when I say don't like to talk about, it's taboo. It's لا عيب كده وما don't do this.
ما تنكدش على الناس.
أيوة.
Don't make everybody upset.
أيوة.
So talk about what
do you? And I think that's a big problem because I think we're all in somehow same way or shape we go through that.
Yes, sir.
Some people deal with it differently, and I really salute you so much, bro. You don't understand. So the question is, did you hesitate before you post that video?
Of course.
Like how many times you thought about it?
So many times, but then I realized, what am I running away from? Like, what am I really running away from? Nothing. I'm running away from myself. I'm gonna close that phone, I'm gonna close that window, and I'm gonna be back with myself again in the room, blaming or regretting or whatever it is. No, put it out, and now it's not just a conversation between me and myself. Now there's a bunch of other people sitting in the room. It's not as lonely.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Same Mercy is actually saying, you asked Ziad about the role of his community in his life, but his role in his community is what's truly remarkable. He won't let someone be buried with their talents unused.
Man.
Like that.
Same Mercy. Okay. So this guy, for all of the right reasons, he showed up in my life to become, a guide. He's one of the maybe the best person I've met in terms of التسامح مع النفس. He is very present. He is very,
God bless him.
And he was one of the people that taught me to take the mental illness or any kind of just emotional turbulence as a sign, not a condition. It's not like,
wow,
you are sick. No, you are doing something wrong. Let's work on it.
Wow.
There is something in your GPS that's telling you turn right, not left.
Yo.
That's exactly. And he uses these words. It's a warning system. Saint Mercy has a series of talks called The Light, where he talks about mental illness and mental health.
I'm gonna subscribe to that.
And he explains it in such an eloquent way and such a human way. It's not forceful. It's not take medication. No, it's understand that your body is a whole system, and this is your warning system telling you you're not eating very well, you're not sleeping very well, you're isolating, etc., etc.
Man, I'm telling you, this is just you are amazing, man. Every single way.
I appreciate it.
I'm gonna get you for 5 more minutes. We have one more poem that Ziad would say. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Are you familiar with a band called Sharmoofers?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So I'm gonna play their latest one, Hazina.
Yes.
I like this one. I like.
It's Yalla Home. Yalla Home.
With Anna Schofield.
Big House.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Ziad, are you familiar with this song? Are you? Hero music. Okay, so I want to shout out everybody on YouTube, man. People are going crazy. Marwan Gamal is saying, because I asked people to describe you in one word. People saying family. Hashtag Ziad Magic is there.
Absolutely.
People are saying there are no words to describe you. Everyone is just really iconic. Wow, amazing. Al Showa, of course. Let's talk about Al Showa.
Yes.
I want to... Al Showa, this is for you, and I hope you're still tuning in. He recently released, last year obviously, released a beat tape called Jarat al-Amar.
Yes.
And it was obviously inspired by...
Tribute to Feiruz,
but using the sampling.
Yes, sir.
Just incredible. So I want to play a little bit of it, you guys. This is how it sounds like. This is an incredible producer. Wow, that's him. Allah. Look at that. You see the faces. The show right here on Plus 95 Radio. Boy.
Hard. It's so hard.
Oh, man. Just incredible, right? Wow. People losing it on YouTube right here. Showa King.
Let's go.
Man, I'm telling you, just amazing and incredible. So shout out to him, of course. Check it out. It's all on all streaming.
On all the streaming platforms. Yes.
Ziad, we've had an incredible hour and plus time with you.
My absolute.
I want you to give us your last poem, and before you do that, I want to know from you, 2021, you, obviously January, you put out this video of you saying your emotions out there. You've got incredible, how you doing after the video? How you feeling?
So the video allowed me, I feel like it gave me permission to process certain things. And because of the conversations that I've had with a lot of people, I realized that I cannot do it on my own. That's the first lesson that I learned, is that you can do it alone until you can't. Simple as that. And there are moments where there are people who can, but not everybody. And then after that came the healing, which is writing more poetry, which is reaching out to more people, which is being more involved. And just the stories that I got encouraged me to understand that I'm not alone in the struggle.
God bless. And that helped you.
You know what I mean? And you doubt that sometimes. It's the thing is, it's a fact, but you don't always believe that.
Until you're in it right now.
At the end of the day, after your work, after after whatever it is you're going through, at the end of the day, it's 11 p.m., you're going to sleep, you're like, am I the only one who feels this empty or alone, etc.?
I'm going to tell you, you're not. And
Exactly.
I want you to know this for a fact.
I appreciate you, man.
And I want you to know that I'm here for you. We're all here for you. And we're here, like, your words impact, bro. I'm just saying.
I appreciate you,
when I
man.
first met you 4 years ago, and now we're doing this right now, your words impact. And I don't say this slightly. So it is also a responsibility on you, Z, to take that and be the voice of so many people.
Yes,
because
sir.
so many people are voiceless when it comes to this.
Yes, sir.
And you have the power in you to make a big impact. And when it comes, because of those, I think it's your responsibility as well now.
Yes,
Not
sir.
to give you too much pressure.
No,
but
that's the right amount of
2021,
pressure. Yes.
what are we talking about? Are we going to see, what projects can you tell us? Like, what are you working on right now?
So I am writing again.
Okay.
I started writing just a few days ago. I started writing again. There are old projects that I never really finished. There are production projects, just as a
Yeah,
producer.
as a producer, you're getting into that.
I'm really enjoying learning production. I'm learning a lot of music theory, so I'm just enjoying that aspect of things. I think if things fall in place, there will be projects soon.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear the last piece.
Appreciate you.
Definitely, you guys go follow him. He is on our social media. Just go there. Ziad Gadou, just incredible guy. What is this piece about?
This is a piece I wrote to cheer myself up.
Okay.
And it's called On Those Days. It's basically about those good days you wake up feeling good about yourself.
It's something like this, you know?
Sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's about to spit on this one. No, but okay. That's what you got a friend in me. Ziad.
Yes,
You know
sir.
that. All right, Ziad Gadou, take it away, my brother.
And on those days, the mirror is kinder. We shine the brighter. We smile our shells wider and get comfortable with ourselves, away from all the dust and all the broken shelves. We are finally outside these boxes, locked and loaded and ready to bust in, finally ready to adjust, been to must win. And on those days, we believe in stars. We hear the ceiling of scars healing and closing in. We believe we are mighty and chosen, juggling the pain with the medicine and wearing rusty halos like we never meant a sin. And on those days, we bend the knees of heartache like a ballerina, swinging on swan lakes and waterfalls like you never seen an angel waiting. Hazel fading into white linen on heaven's gate, and you lay on the ground with your arms waving, and you, a flower blooming, illuminating despite the winter booming, and you, the seasonal drought catching fish tanks of insecurities and doubts, and you pray. In the face of all you left, you pray. With whatever is left of your sanity, with whatever is left of your faith, in the face of all you hate, with whatever is left on your plate, because in those days we believe in the promises we never kept. And on those days we believe in the cliffs we never leapt. And on those days we believe that this right here is the step that will give life to dreams to reach deep beneath your breath and write on those same pillows you dream on. Those same pillows you weep, those same sad songs, those same pillows you drift apart and lash on. When they put your love to sleep and forget to leave the flash on, it's up to you to rectify your own illusions. Wreck their lies, call intrusion. Remember, with honesty comes confusion, comes holy water and diffusion. And when you hit them with that real honest version of the truth, they will treat you like a nuisance. And when you hang them from the noose, let that burden go and burn it like they're the fat and you're the biggest loser. And when you extend your arms to pray, don't stench your hopes with death. Stretch your hopes to play when the ocean waves its depth. And the kindest thing to say when you're running out of breath is Ameen. Ameen. Don't you dare second guess.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you right now, my fire is up.
This is the big ass energy,
I'm
man.
telling you, it's over. It's over. It's over. This is incredible. It's a duty to support this human being. I'm telling you, if you're listening to this right now, Ziad Gadou is the name on Instagram. Incredible the amount of feelings I've just had watching this guy do. You're 26 years old. I'm telling you what I said before the piece. I'm right. I'm right. It's a responsibility, bro. You have it, and you said it early on. We got, this incredible poet, the young poet Amanda, taking that stage yesterday,
Yes, sir.
and her life changed.
Yes, sir.
She woke up this morning, and her book is the #1 seller. Everything changed in her life.
Yes, sir.
4 million followers in like less than a few
Yes,
hours.
sir.
Khalas, her life changed because of that, and she was ready. I think the same thing can happen to so many spoken word artists right here, and you're man. I'm telling you,
I appreciate it, man.
incredible. Before I let you go,
Yes, sir.
spoken word community in the UAE.
Yes.
Can you tell us a few names that you follow?
Rooftop Rhythms, where
Rooftop
it all
Rhythms.
started.
Yeah.
Blank Space, based in Dubai. Backyard Poetry, but not as active at the moment.
Shout out Blank Space
I want to
as
shout
well.
out a couple of other platforms in the region.
Go.
Nas with Notepads in Sudan.
Sudan.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
I want to shout out the Word Project in Cairo.
The Word Project.
Yes, sir.
I like that name.
Yes, sir.
مشروع الكلمة يعني.
مشروع الكلمة.
Allah.
I want to also shout out Room Art Space in Cairo. That's where the platform where Saint Mercy and I performed that evening.
I want to go there.
There's a home everywhere for artists, man. That's it. These are the places.
If people want to get into spoken word poetry,
Yes, sir.
who are the poets or the artists that you listen to, you like?
I started watching Sarah Kay and Phil Kay.
Okay.
They're maybe the most famous names. I started watching people like Safia Al-Hello.
I love Safia,
Al-Hello.
man.
That is an idol. That is a name that I look up to.
I love the fact that you guys are like friends.
Yes,
now.
and I did I really like reached out as hard as I could because I look up not only to her writing style just as a poet, but it's how much she holds on to her identity, to language, for example, to Abdul Halim Hafiz. These things that, she didn't separate the art form from the artist, from where they come from. And Safia Al-Hello is another poet that I think can give you a masterclass on how to write a poem.
Facts, yeah.
But also watch your local poets who are as great as anybody else. If it's just not if it's not the right time for them to become on the big screens, go watch them live.
Yeah. Shout out to Dr. Mu'taz.
That's my father.
Tuning in to support.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Mu'taz, he's like, proud of you, my talented son.
Yes, sir. That's my father.
لا
Yes.
لحظة تعال.
that's
تحية كبيرة للدكتور معتز. يعطيك ألف عافية والله يحميك. God bless you. Thank you so much for raising, of course, a man, like Ziad. Just like you guys are amazing. I have so much love and appreciation to your family. See, we can't end this. Speaking about family, how is your family supporting you?
My family, man, like my brothers, for example, just to give you an example, my brothers are in every event. Everything that I've ever done, they were there cheering the loudest. My father and mother attended maybe like every spoken word performance, poetry I was in.
Wow.
In Oman, they were there. I actually performed a poem about my dad raising the allowance, and he laughed the hardest in that room. And that's how much he loves me, you know what I mean?
Do you have that piece?
It's like a 4-line poem, essentially. Like, it was a joke that I decided to make with my parents because it was their first time watching.
Can we hear it? Since he's listening.
I don't remember the poem, but it was something along the lines of like أضع أساميكم فوق رفوفي بعد إذنك يا بابا زود لي مصروفي, or something like that, right? And it made their
God
night,
bless him.
and then I performed a full-on piece.
But do they support you in this?
Cruise Control premiere was done in a gallery in Oman, done by Sara Al-Awlaqi. She's an Omani
I know
curator.
Sara.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So my mother was the guest of honor.
Wow.
You know what I mean? She had the biggest in the chair in the back, and she got to see it for the first time before anybody else got to see it on YouTube.
Amazing,
my
amazing.
mother. Like,
That's amazing that they show love. وتحياتي لهم أكيد, man. علا عيساوي saying my hero.
That's my mother.
Oh, no way. Oh,
Yes,
my
sir.
God. Yo, the family is all here.
Yes, sir.
يا الله عائلة.
ربنا يخليهم.
الله يحميهم. الله يحميكم. انتم من جد جماعة جدا رهيبين. And Ziad, Dr. Mu'taz, Khala Ula, you have done some incredible an incredible job with someone like Ziad. Ziad impacts people. Ziad impacted me. أنا عمري 40 سنة, 40 years old, and he impacted me from the first word. Allah يحميك, man. You're an incredible guy.
Thank you so much,
Any last word you'd like to say before we let you go?
I honestly I really just want to send this message to everyone listening. Like, I really hope everyone's doing okay. And I really hope everybody is okay with not being okay. That's all I want to say. And if you're not okay, write, read, run, talk, cry, do it all. Just don't leave it inside.
Man, shout out to everybody on YouTube. Nawartuna on YouTube from Yusuf Gadou. Yusuf is saying, you're making me cry. Ahmed Makharita.
Yes, my aunt.
Shout out to him. Aya Riyadh, Saint Mercy, Dr. Mu'taz, يعطيك ألف عافية. وخالة علا أكيد, Sabina, Marwan Gamal. Man, everybody tuned in today.
Alhamdulillah.
Shout out to you, Ziad Gadou.
Appreciate
Can't
you,
wait.
man.
Send us your new stuff, my brother.
Yes, sir.
We're going to be right back, brothers and sisters. We are actually world premiering a song by Adam Nabil that I'm going to make Ziad hear it because he's really excited for that. This is just happening.
If you liked this episode of Yalla Home, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.